Hey everyone, I'm David and welcome to Q&A Monday, where once a week I answer your ocarina questions. Last week some of you wanted to know about how difficult it is to go from a inline ocarina to a transverse, and then also to go from a transverse to a pendant ocarina. And just in case you were wondering how difficult it might be to go from pendant to either of those other two. So I'm going to show you guys some of the fingering patterns and then discuss some of the similarities and other differences. We'll get started with the transverse ocarina. This is a Spencer Register Concert Alto C. It's a 12-hole, and transverse ocarinas use a linear fingering pattern going from right to left. Very easy to remember, very easy to learn. This is very similar to the inline ocarina. This is a hind tenor F, and inline ocarinas also use a linear fingering pattern. The difference, of course, being that the transverse ocarina is going horizontally this way, so you hold it with this hand on the back of it and this hand on the front. Inline ocarinas, you hold your hands on either side, and so the fingering pattern is very similar with two minor differences. Most inline ocarinas have this small pinky hole down here, which serves as the same purpose as the subhole does on the transverse ocarina. When a 12-hole has these two holes on the for the right hand, those let you go two notes below the tonic. This is what this pinky hole serves for right here. It lets you go one note below the tonic. Another example of that is on the Mountain G ocarina, which has the same hole that lets you go one below the tonic. Another difference is that on the transverse ocarina, that same position where you would have your left pinky hole, that's used for the last note on an Asian or Japanese style transverse ocarina, which is what this is. On the European style, it's a little bit different. It's the second to last note, but we can talk about that in another video. So the major differences between inline and transverse styles is that the pinky hole serves a different purpose. The left pinky hole lets you go one note up, whereas the left pinky hole on the inline goes one note down. And also the way that you hold it is different. Inline, transverse. The English pendant ocarina is actually not very similar to the other two at all. It uses a cross fingering or combination style finger pattern, where those are linear. You do one note straight to the next, lifting one finger at a time to get to the next note in the scale. This one you have to do a combination going from the low note, lifting up this note, switching it to get that note opened up, then both of those opened up. Then you lift up this finger and cover this one again. Lift up this finger, cover this one, and there. Really quick without any interruptions. On the 6-hole version, there is two thumb holes. Not all pendants have this. Because it uses a different fingering style than the other two ocarinas, it might be a little more difficult to go from inline or transverse to the pendant ocarina. However, if you're going the other way, if you've gotten pretty good on a pendant ocarina and you're going to the transverse or inline, it would probably be easier because linear fingering style pattern on those two ocarinas is just generally a lot easier to comprehend. That's not to say that the transverse and inline ocarinas are better. That just means that they have different qualities than the pendant. For example, pendant ocarinas are a lot easier to go really, really fast because you are only using 4 fingers plus the 2 on the bottom compared to using all 10 fingers on the transverse or an inline. And so there's not so much moving around with your entire hand as there is on a pendant ocarina. Also, these are a lot more transportable. You can wear these around as necklaces a lot of the time because of how compact they are. So it really just depends on what you're looking for in an ocarina. If you're looking for a more concert quality instrument that's capable of doing more accidentals, probably easier to do different major scales or just different scales in general, a transverse or inline would probably be better for you. But again, just take a look at what you're looking for in an ocarina and make a decision from there. I also got a few other questions about whether or not you should worry about posture when you're playing the ocarina, or if there's a better position that you can play your ocarina in, like standing up or sitting up straight. And also, there are any breathing exercises that can help you avoid shallow breathing and playing longer phrases? The answer is yes. First of all, posture is always important when you're playing a musical instrument, especially if it's a wind instrument. If you're sitting down, you always want to make sure that you're sitting up straight and tall with your chest kind of out, a little bit of a curve in your lower back, which you can feel with the back of your hand. The same goes for when you're standing up. You want to make sure that you're standing up tall with your shoulders back, your chest a little bit out, a little bit of a curve in your lower back, and your arms relaxed at your side. And then you can just lift them up to play the ocarina. You don't want your elbows locked. You just want them relaxed and comfortable. As far as breathing exercises go, there's a few things that you can do. You have to keep in mind first that ocarinists want to breathe from your diaphragm or your abdominal area. This is where you take your deepest breaths, and the problem with most people who are getting started on the ocarina is that they're breathing from their chest area, which creates this shallow breathing that doesn't quite give you as much of a punch when you're playing your ocarina. You can't sustain long phrases well enough because most of your breath support comes from down here. So first of all, one of the first exercises you can do is this shotgun type of a breath, where you take a deep breath in and then shoot it all out as fast as you can. Like someone just punched you in the stomach. That's where you want to feel it. Deep breath, and then shoot it all out. One more time. Good. Another one you can do is where you just take a deep breath and exhale slowly. Putting your fingers right around your abdominal area so you can feel the air escaping from there. And you want it to get a little bit tight so you can slowly feel the pressure go down from your abdominals. You do not want to see your shoulders rising. In fact, let me show you the wrong way to do it. See how my shoulders went up? And my shoulders just collapsed. Your shoulders need to stay broad, and you want all the air to come out of here. One more time from the side. If your belly's coming out, that's a good thing. Finally, another exercise you can do is what we call bubbles. Bubbles is what little kids like to do, little babies, when they're rolling their lips like this. Don't ask me how, but this does help with creating a really good, strong breath support. One of my voice teachers would tell me to do bubbles on My Country 'Tis of Thee. So, let me demonstrate. Deep breath. Do that as long as you can without taking a breath, and every time you practice it, you should be able to go a little bit further, and you'll just see how your breath support increases every single time. It's silly, but it works. Finally, some of you were asking about whether or not there were any specific books or tabs for 6-hole ocarina, and where you could find tabs on websites for all ocarinas, and there's a few that you can go to. OcarinaTab.com has ocarinas from inlines, pendants, and transverse, and there might be a few Peruvians as well, but tabs for all those specific kinds of ocarinas. Another website you can look at is STL Ocarina's tab site, which is stlocarina.com/fico.html, and you can make your own tabs for transverse and pendant ocarinas. And there's also the Songbird Composer and one or two other sites that you might want to look at. So all those links will be in the description, and you can find or make your own ocarina tabs. So just a quick announcement. Next week, guys, I'm going to Italy. I'm leaving on Tuesday, and I still need as much help as I can get to go there. So if you guys are new to ocarinas or just want to help support the trip, check out my book, The Ocarina Guide. Go to ocarinaguide.com. It's $10, and that will go straight to helping me get to Italy on Tuesday. Also, stay tuned for a new review this coming Wednesday on the Noble Bass C Ocarina that some of you have been asking about. So that's it for this episode, guys. Don't forget to click the subscribe button so you know when the next video comes out. Leave a comment below if you want to have your question answered in next week's episode, and click the like button if you enjoyed this video. Thanks, guys. Stay tuned for one of these playlists if you want to see another video. You can just click one, please. Yeah. Okay, bye.